Lauren Spierer headed out of Smallwood Plaza, where she lives, shortly after midnight, and she went up the street with David Rohn to Jay Rosenbaum's apartment. He lives in a townhouse complex. About 10 people were gathered inside his apartment drinking. Jay said that a lot of the hard alcohol was already gone, that he had 6 to 10 shots of Belvedere vodka, but they still had a keg of beer going. We know that there were some drugs in use at the party or shortly beforehand. This is a gathering that goes on almost weekly. They call it pre-gaming, and at a certain point, about 1:30 in the morning, people headed out. Lauren Spierer went 2 doors down to Corey Rossman's place, and the two of them went to Kilroy's together. A few of the others who were at the pregame also showed up. At the bar, Lauren took off her shoes, left her cell phone, walking around on the sandy lot that they have there to create kind of a beach effect. So we know that there was some more drinking going on at the bar. Corey Rossman and Lauren left together. They headed back to Smallwood Plaza, where Lauren lives. Went up to the 5th floor. In the hallway, they were confronted by 4 guys who came up and saw that Lauren was in bad shape. One of them asked Lauren if she was okay, and Corey said, I got it. She's fine.
And
does he say?
And then the boy again says, "Hey, dude, you better take her to a room."
Same boy.
And Corey now gets mouthy and said, "Fuck you, I got it." And that's about enough for Zach Oakes. He's a tough kid, I hear. And 1 punch to the jaw, and Corey went down. And this is in the alcove of the elevator, where it's tile floor, not rug. So he went down maybe kind of hard.
Corey and Lauren took the elevator down to the lobby, and Lauren came stumbling out of the elevator. So Corey was the one who got punched, but Lauren was the one who was, at least in the video, who needed all the help. This was one thing that seemed to contradict the version that's given by Corey Rossman and his lawyer. Corey claims he suffered short amnesia, that he doesn't even remember what happened, that 15 minutes before the fight, the punch, and for the rest of the evening he has no memory of that. So they headed out together. They walked up the street and sat down along the way on a staircase.
And that's where we have a female witness who was leaving, visiting a boy. She's not a college student. She's a little bit older. And she observed the young girl, which we now know to be Lauren, to tip over while she was sitting on the top step and hit her head on the concrete. And the boy was sitting a step or 2 below her.
And it was loud enough for he to hit.
You could hear the thud.
The thud of her head, yeah.
So Lauren and Corey headed up an alleyway from there, and Lauren is seen falling face first to the ground, hitting her head. She didn't even put up her hands to block herself. Corey helped her to her feet, and then just a few steps later, she crumbles again to the ground. And again, Corey helps her up, and they head up the street. So Lauren and Corey headed up an alleyway from there and head into an apartment building, 10th and College, knock on the door of 4 girls who were partying with them earlier in the night, but no one's home.
A minute later, the door opening and them going back down and him helping her with that kind of slung across his back, back down the stairs.
Going down the stairs.
Right.
Going down, he slings her, he puts her...
He has her arms like this in front of him, and he's bent over like this, and she's kind of dangling off his back.
She's
but
obviously shorter than him. So
she's moving though. She's not unconscious.
No,
Oh no, she
definitely
was
awake
alive and well. I mean, I don't know how well, but she was alive.
She has another seat, sits down, and for about a minute. But at that point, she leaves her keys. She drops her keys and an ID card. And Corey helped her up the street to his apartment. Once they got inside his apartment, his roommate was inside, Mike Beth, who was home studying, and he had also done some drinking. Mike Beth sees Lauren in the living room. He sees his roommate Corey walking up the steps, and Corey throws up on the carpet, and Mike Beth goes over and helps him up to his bedroom. This is what Mike Beth said. After putting Corey to his room, he comes down. He sees Lauren in the living room, and obviously she's in bad shape. And Mike Beth tries to get her to sleep over there.
And Lauren wanted to go. So with that, Mike Beth said, I don't know her as well as Jay Rosenbaum knows her. He knows her much better. They went to camp together.
Right, in Pennsylvania.
Right. So he walks her next door, and he makes her Jay Rosenbaum's problem.
And Jay is trying to get her to sleep over there. She won't have it. She wants to get her cell phone. She wants to leave. And at about 4:15 a.m., we learned that 2 calls were placed from Jay's phone, and the claim is that she made both calls, calling 2 friends, one of them David Rohn, because she thought that he had her cell phone. Neither of the friends answered the phone, and that's when Lauren left.
That he watched her from his 2nd floor balcony. And the balcony, if you passed his house, is about 1.5 feet wide. You can't even fit a chair out there, but you could stand out there and smoke a cigarette, I guess. And he said he watched it from there.
So you could see her walking down the street. You saw
That's
the
what he
vantage
said.
point.
That's according to him, yes. And he says when she gets to the corner, he said he was able to see her almost until she got to the corner.
The private investigators say that there were a lot of conflicting statements that night, and they're not sure whether to attribute it only to the fact that maybe they were drinking, they were doing drugs, or to the fact that they're withholding information. They don't really have their story straight.